Hello, my name is Jason Biddix. Today I'm going to be showing you the process of the automated reduction gear cell and the safety hazards of the automated reduction gear cell. Right now I'm going to show you the process of properly picking up forging. Remember, always wear your proper PPE when touching any form of gear or anything. Be on the safe stance. Pick the forging up with two hands, pull close to your body, and proceed to the next process, which is the robot was going to pick it up and put it into the lathe. This area right here is where we do our quality checks with no-go and no-go gauges and dial bore gauges and so forth. Right now I'm going to use the dial bore gauge. It needs to be set at 0 on the master gauge. And this right here is, these are go and no-go gauges. One side will go, and the other will not. Right now I'm going to show you the proper entry methods for the automated reduction gear cell. In case of an emergency, right here is an emergency stop button. This actually stop the robot. And if you do enter the automated reduction gear cell, you actually have to have a lockout tag out. The lockout tag out is for operators and maintenance to actually go in. It's a safety procedure that Eaton has instructed us to do for the automated reduction gear cell for maintenance and setup procedures. Right now I'm going to show you, you flip this up to actually enter the cell, pull the door. This actually disconnects the power source to the robot, and you can now stick your key in the hole that's designated to the lock. You can proceed. Right here is the next process in the automated reduction gear cell. The robot arm would actually pick up the rough forging right here, place it right here to check it for accuracy. And from here, it's going to go to the CNC lathe, which is actually going to turn the gear. Right here is the emergency stop button in case of an emergency. Right here is the manual controls for this lathe to do any kind of setup procedures or insert change. Moving over to the left side of the machine is another emergency stop button in case of an emergency. From this process, the robot arm would actually take the gear, place it in front of the part stamp, and actually proceed with the part stamping. It will actually place the number and the part time onto that gear. From the stamping process is the hob process of the reduction gear. The robot would actually place the part onto this part stop and wait for the next process, which is the hob. As you can see, there's an emergency stop button right here for the hob in case of an emergency. And from this process is the actual reduction gear stamping process, which actually cuts the center portion of the reduction gear. Right here is another emergency stop button for this particular machine. If you pan down right here, this is the controls for the conveyor. This is the emergency stop button for the conveyor. This is the stop button for the conveyor. If you just want to stop the conveyor, right here is the start button for this conveyor. This is the cutoff point for this conveyor in case of an emergency or mechanical. The next process in the automated reduction gear cell is the cross. Right here is the emergency stop button in case of an emergency. The cross actually cuts the top portion of the reduction gear. Right here is the next process of the automated reduction gear cell after the cross. The robot, this is the shave. The robot would actually pick the part up right here, place it over this drum, which will actually catch the excess runoff of oil. And from this process, we'll go to the conveyor. In the midst of the conveyor it leaves a trail of oil. This is actually the slip hazard of this sail. This is the next process in the automated reduction gear sail. The robot will take the part from the shaver to this conveyor, which will actually run out of the sail to begin to the next process. This is the back portion of the CNC lathe out of the automated reduction gear sail. As you can see, these are the stringer chips from the excess of the gear. To remove the stringer chips from over here, you take a rake. Remember, always wear your proper PPE when doing this. You take it, you just rake it downward in a downward motion. Then you place the rack back. Moving to the other side, right here is the chip hopper. This is the chip conveyor for the excess forging. Over here is the shaper chip extractor. It extracts the excess forging into the hopper. Right here is the side of the shaper. As you can see, this is the emergency stop button for the shaper. And right here is the emergency stop button for the robot in case of an emergency. Right here is the back portion of the cross on the outside of the automated reduction gear sail. Right here is the emergency stop button for the back of the cross in case of an emergency. Right here is the chip extractor. And on top of the chip extractor is an emergency stop button in case of an emergency. Right here is the hopper that places the chips. As you can see, under the hopper is a potential slip hazard of oil in case this hopper is ever removed for dumping. Over on the top left is the E1. That's the emergency stop for maintenance and other mechanical issues. This portion right here is the shaver portion of the automated reduction gear sail. On this control panel is the emergency stop button for the shaver. On the right side of the shaver is the main switch that turns off the power supply to this particular machine for maintenance reasons. Right here is the other side of the shaver of the automated reduction gear sail. This is an access door for setup purposes, and this is the emergency stop button for setup purposes in case of an emergency. Moving on to the last process of the automated reduction gear sail is the washer. As you can see on the ground, it's a potential slip hazard of washer fluid from the excess gears. Right here is the last process of the automated reduction gear sail. It's the washer, the parts washer. Right here is the control side of the thermostat. For safety reasons, we do not exceed 120 degrees Fahrenheit for a burn. Right here is the emergency stop button for the washer in case of an emergency. Always wear your proper PPE when placing your hands on the gears for safety reasons. You place the part in both hands, put it close towards your body, and proceed to place it onto the part, HT rack, heat treat rack. Now we're at the end of the process of the automated reduction gear sail. My name's Jason Biddix. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me.